Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Center for Fundamental Rights, Miklós Szánthó.
Hello, CPAC. How are you today? It's good to hear. I'm sure all of you know that you cannot make a country great or great again without freedom. This is why freedom holds such a prominent place among our common values here in America, as well as in my beloved country, Hungary. This is why throughout our history, we were ready to make sacrifices. Sacrifices for freedom that would have seemed irrational for so many others. Mongol hordes, Ottoman caliphs, the Habsburg Empire, and the Bolsheviks, the communists, shared one ambition: to take my homeland and take our freedom, but we never let them. Thank you. And throughout the 1,000 years of our history, Hungary has fought wars, suffered unthinkable oppression to gain and regain our liberty. And throughout these tribulations, we remained true to our Christian roots, national culture, and our sovereign statehood. We lived for long decades under the communist thumb, and we experienced, and indeed experience it still profoundly, the danger of the political extremes making a common cause against the foundations of our society. In Hungary, now we have reached the point where the progressives, the socialists, have aligned themselves to the fascists for the upcoming elections in April. And their aim is to institute woke totalitarianism in my homeland and to realize their nightmare of open society. And to tell the truth, today, in a very real sense, we are still engaged in a fight for freedom. Here in America, as well as across the seas in Hungary. We should know that we are freedom fighters who have to reclaim the very word freedom. Because this word and this feeling, it has been taken from us, become a hostage of political correctness and the Church of Woke. We are no longer free to take pride in our flag, our nation, in our history. Deploying the Bolshevik tactics of cancel culture, the zealots of progress would deconstruct everything we ever held dear. Dear fellow conservatives, dear friends, I'm sure you know that the left has launched an all-out assault on the very foundation of the Western way of life, the family. They kneel to our anthems, set fire to our churches, burn our flags. They desecrate the memories of our greatest national heroes, and now they have come for the most profound, basic freedom of all, parents' right to raise their children as they see fit. And for your information, protecting the children is also what's at stake in the upcoming Hungarian election in early April, where conservatives are led by one of the true champions of liberty, a man you know well, Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. But who are these dark forces hell-bent on depriving us of our God-given liberty? Of course, you know who they are. International NGOs who want to dismantle national borders, the supranational organizations, the deep state of DC and Brussels and their mainstream media, and of course, George Soros, whose witchcraft practices should not be introduced to you. These are the forces who scheme to undermine the created nature of man and woman, national identity, and state sovereignty. And as President Trump put it a few years ago, a nation is not a nation without borders is not a nation. And he was very, very right. And indeed, if Hungarian history teaches one lesson, it is this: either you have sovereignty or you disappear as a nation. And another wise leader once said, freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. And President Reagan was right, and we must heed his warning, because today freedom is in peril. As in the Hungarian freedom fight against the commies in 1956, there were young men and women who risked their lives for liberty, so today there are many of us who strive to return our nations to the righteous path shown to us by the heroes of our history. And as it has been a custom for over a millennium now, Hungary will protect our freedom and our borders. We stand for peace in our region, and we do not want to get involved in a military conflict. But we will defend our homeland if it's necessary in the east, because our people's security comes first. And of course, on the other hand, we also reject firmly the imperial aspirations of Brussels minions. Instead, we embrace the true values of our Western civilization: God, our homeland, and the family, the way we have always done before. And of course, you know that hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And now we live in hard times. But we are strong. We will fight until we win. Woke and open society will never dominate us, because we will never surrender. Knowing this simple fact unites us, and united we stand. Now here in Orlando, soon at CPAC Hungary, in March in Budapest. God bless you all, God bless America, God bless Hungary, and of course, let's go Brandon!